One of the things I wanted to start off with is like all the chirpers. There is this like contingency that doesn't exist in the real world at all and like does not reflect the polling data at all and is increasingly getting less space even in mainstream media. I've been seeing a lot of their chirping on the timeline. Many of them are freaking out about this Gavin Newsom situation. As you guys know, yesterday, amidst the broadcast, I found out that Gavin Newsom, as a matter of fact, was interested in potentially coming on the stream. I'm going to start there. Oh my God, this is on Forbes. Oh my God. Oh my God, this made it into like actual breaking news. What the heliante? Oh, it's crazy. That's the Reddit atheist contingency you're describing. Yeah. So anyway, yesterday, Gav, that's what I call him now because we're besties and I like everything he's ever done and I will never criticize anything he'll ever say. Gruesome Governor Gavin Newsom of California Oblast is doing a interview in New Hampshire with Jack Cocherella. He's great. He's a great content creator. He's like one of these like left adjacent, more progressive. He's not. I don't think he's like a communist by any means, but like he is pretty chill. Like as far as everything I've seen. Now Jack is also part of Midas Media Group, which you know I'm fond of. So anyway, let's watch what Gav had to say.
More future given where we are and kind of a lot of what's been going on. But I wanted to get back into what you had to say about kind of, not in the spirit of that question, but, you know, reading the room when it comes to or understanding what makes, and we've had conversations about a guy like Steve Bannon, right? And Steve Bannon kind of helped build Donald Trump, his facade. Again, these things are lies. But what in this moment, when you see so much of the right turning on itself, do you think, and it is, you know, Trump was going after Tucker Carlson, he's going after Megyn Kelly. Well, what do you think when you sit down and have a conversation with someone like Ben Shapiro? Like, what was your takeaway from that in terms of what do we need to be talking about? What do we need to be saying? Certainly not on the policy, but on the framing and the reaching people and the organizing. I kind of want to get back to that. Like, as you look into the future, what has been your takeaway of a conversation with Steve Bannon, a conversation with Charlie Kirk, a conversation with Ben Shapiro?
Guys, you can't get mad at him for having a long and convoluted question when I'm your favorite content creator. Okay, this is literally the Hasanabi method. Okay, yes, he went all around the world to basically ask the fucking question, what's going on in your head when you talk to Ben Shapiro? Why do you do that? Okay, I do the same exact thing. It's fucking annoying. It sucks. I know it's not the best to watch from afar, but don't yell at him over this. This is he's green, just like I am. I'm not a very good interviewer. Okay, it's a horrible trait that I have where I want to get in everything I possibly can before asking that question. And I think part of that comes from over explaining everything because I have so many fucking clippers. So it just like has broken my brain. I need to like over explain everything. Anyway, let's continue.
And the guy who tried to recall me, Newt Gingrich. Frank Luntz, you know, I'm talking about framing and messaging. Those are not the only guests I have on this show, quite the contrary.
Never asked me on the show, Gav. I mean, it's fine though. It's fine though because we're good now. We're besties.
And by the way, I say this to folks all the time. No one has to tune in. You know, I'm just trying to, I sincerely am trying to understand motivation. I'm trying to understand what we're actually up against.
Skip to the part where he came out and said that he was willing to talk to your boy, right? So Jack is having a conversation about like, you know, talking to people in a broader coalition in the Democratic Party. And he basically asked him this question dead on.
TwitchCon. I'm meeting with gamers and streamers. I'm doing Fortnite Fridays.
Would you go on Hassan?
He loves Connor, by the way. It's kind of crazy. He loves Connor. He goes Fortnite Fridays. Ha!
Would you go on Hassan's show, Twitch? Speaking of which,
yeah,
Hassan Pike, you might.
Yeah, which I've said in the past. And the point is, I'm just.
So Jack sends me, before he sends me this clip, he just says like, oh, I asked him, right? And that's it. That's the whole thing. And the problem here is when Jack asked him, I thought he asked him in private after they were done. I didn't realize he put him on the spot on the stage. And I certainly didn't realize that his response was, yeah. So he got a little bit baited. But now the media is picking it up and the media is talking about it as well, which is fine. I mean, this is like I don't know why he is running away from having a conversation with someone like myself. Like, you have to talk to your left flank, bro. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Okay. It's wild. Like, I am the largest leftist content creator in North America, man. What are we doing? Like, we can't, as the Democratic Party, we can't be like, what happened to Kamala Harris? Oh, she didn't go on the Joe Rogan of the left, or she didn't go on Joe Rogan. Do we need a Joe Rogan of the left? Or who's the Joe Rogan of the left for like a year plus? And then he's like, yeah, like that's his answer. Like it's crazy. That's Adam Friedland. You got your chain snatch, little bro. I think Adam Friedland and I occupy very different lanes. Okay. Like Adam is great. Obviously he's doing a fantastic job, but yeah, we'll see where this goes. I think he will get a lot of press off of this though. Like this will be a major press event. That's the thing. Like he will get good press off of this. But in any case, from this point onward, a lot of the liberals saw this, right? And they lost their dang minds, right? They lost their dang minds, and they've been losing their dang minds, and they haven't stopped losing their dang minds. I wonder when they will stop losing their dang minds. Because I need you guys to understand, there are people like Jose and all these other guys who are like Democratic Party champions, and they'll like ride for whoever. They hate me personally. They have Hassan derangement syndrome. But for many others on the right, the reason why they're very much against this is because they think Gavin Newsom is platforming me if he comes on my stream, right? And offering me legitimacy, not realizing that I've had people that have a higher significance in American politics than Gavin Newsom on with regular frequency, including last week, right? Like including a couple of weeks ago with Bernie Sanders. So these guys don't realize that it's not actually Gavin Newsom platforming me, it's the fucking other way around, right? And what's interesting is A.G. Hamilton also says this is the equivalent of a Republican candidate doing a stream with Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. Democrats can't lecture the right about their issues when they have zero standards for their own side. This kind of stuff is so silly because Gavin Newsom has literally spoken to Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, and Steve fucking Bannon. But of course, those guys are establishment and pro-Israel enough not to be a real problem for the likes of this dipshit. This is a Hassan derangement syndrome guy. Crazy that Gavin Newsom would cave to Hassan Piker. Yeah, the same guy who said he'd vote third party if Gavin was the nominee. What are we doing here? Well, that's precisely the reason why Gavin Newsom should come on the stream, don't you think? To convince someone like myself and my audience to actually vote for him, to try to identify what the rooms of disagreement are, what the areas of disagreement are, what the areas of improvement are. Maybe he convinces me that he has a much better alternative, a much better vision, right? And it's so strange because these are also the same guys that constantly say you got to moderate and pivot to the fucking middle to win voters that will never vote for the Democratic Party, the Republicans. It's very interesting to see that from Democrats. I think it's also silly to constantly talk about how I piss all these people off. Who gives a fuck, right?